Now here we are with the Mini Maxx, and I'm fitting a support brace. It's not huge, but it's going to go on here. There's a slight problem because needs a spacer there to screw it down, and I'm going to use sort of mush head screws instead of the countersunks. But I've had a problem. The screw threaded out in here, which I weren't impressed with. So what I'm going to try is attempt a longer screw to try and resolve the issue a little bit, because I don't know where I put the screw at the moment. There it is. It's only a short little screw that goes in, but if you stick this in, it is longer, much longer, so we can go deeper where it's a problem. And like I said, we've got to allow for the spacer and everything. So I'm going to try and get on with that. But like I said, if I'd have had the original design, I would have just added some spacers onto here and made them longer so they're screwed on flat. But I think that was causing part of the trouble with the screws, is because you was bending it out of shape, which is not the best thing. So let's work out some screws for the centre roughly and get those in, and then we'll go from there. Now I've got some longer screws in the back, and these are servo screws, so they spread the weight well, so I'm pleased with that. Where the countersink hole is, I've got these little spacers, and they just about fit in the first little part, but they give the right depth so this is not crushed. And then the screws going into the steering, I know it's going through more, but they're longer and they seem to be holding better, so hopefully this is it. So I'm going to get these spacers fitted because they can be a bit of a pain. So we'll tight fit these ones, and then we'll fit it in one go. So here we go, let's screw in this part. These screws feel a lot better than the ones that were in here. So hopefully that solves out the weak screws. Like I said, I'm not over impressed with the screws in the front. If they could have fitted, you know, longer ones in the first place, you know, because these are going deeper. And we'll look afterwards, see if it's come through or anything. I can't see it. But this time they've gone tight. You know, I'm not putting a lot of pressure on them, but they've gone tight. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see, it just slightly spaced them up, so those little spacers work a treat. And then, like I said, these screws, because they've got such large heads, they're good for the job, because they're holding in a different way. Because remember, we're not using countersunks. See, if this was made, I would have made it 1 mil thicker, made it chunky, but put countersunks in, and then you could fit decent countersunk screws. But then, like I said, they won't have the strength what these have got. Like I said, I'm only going to tight, that's all they need. Make sure it still turns, so we're not touching anywhere there. And the steering, perfect. So it shows you can go longer into the steering. I don't know where they go through to, but it only goes into the cranks, so I don't think that's such a bad idea, putting slightly longer ones to strengthen the steering. But that's the first sort of upgrade, is a brace. And the reason I've fitted this brace here is because I've seen a few people hit on the front corner and completely rip the front of the chassis off. So for something that's supposed to be a basher, it's not as strong as it should be. And these people was only running the BL2, so Traxxas can't say, oh, it's down to they put 3S or anything into it. No, these were breaking with just standard use. I'm charging the Mini Maxx, and I've got a little gripe. I thought I'd been charging it for a couple of hours, and it turns out it was flashing double red and not double green. When will these people learn? Don't use green and red LEDs. use something like red and blue. Us colourblind people can tell the difference between those two colours. But it's a real pain for me, but I've ordered a proper charge lead, so that way I know if it's plugged in properly next time. It will show up if the balance is not connected, where what the problem was, it wasn't balanced. So this is going to delay getting out today.